I hope you all are doing well. So, in this live session, we are going to learn French, right? And what we are going to do is today we are going to use a different way to learn French, all right? Now, I just have this cookie mix box. Sorry, it's a brownie mix box, right? And I saw some French instructions written at the back of it, right? So I thought, why not just discuss that with you and make you familiar with the construction of the sentences, with the vocabulary, with the words, right? How we use them. And let's just understand that here in this context, right? So that is my motive of today's live session. All right, just to make you familiar with the language and so that you can go easily with it, right? Now, let's start with our live session. The first thing here, it says you will need, right? Now, here already the English translation is given to you along with the French one, right? So I will not be focusing on more of English. I will be focusing on the pronunciation and the sentence construction uh, of French language, right? So let's start with you will need, right? Now, as you know, you, right? When I say you will need here, this is a brownie mix box, right? Now, brownie mix is actually you refers to all the purchasers, the users of this brownie mix, right? So obviously there will be more than one. So that is why for you we are not using tu, we are using vous, right? Now, expression that they are using here is will need, right? Or to be in need of. How do we say to be in need of in French? We use the expression avoir besoin de, right? Avoir besoin de is the expression. Now when I have to write will, okay, avoir besoin de expression means to be in need of something, right? To be in need of something. Let's say I am in need of something, I have to write. So I will say j'ai. Now say when I say I am in need of something, am means I'm talking about present tense, okay? So when I talk about present tense, that means the conjugation of the verb avoir should also be done in present tense, right? So we say j'ai besoin de quelque chose. I am in need of something, right? J'ai besoin de quelque chose. But when I have to say I will be in need of, that means will be means I'm conjugating the verb avoir in future sampler, right? Le future sampler. Now, le future sampler means I'll conjugate the verb avoir as j'aurai. J'aurai. J'aurai besoin de quelque chose. J'aurai besoin de quelque chose. That means I will be in need of something, right? So here they are saying vous aurez besoin de. That means you will be in need of all these ingredients, right? These ingredients, and you will be in need of, doing all these steps. So when they say you will be in need of, what is written here? What are the ingredients here? Right? The ingredients are un sachet de mélange, right? Un sachet. Sachet means a sachet or a pouch, right? You can see the translation here side by side. So I'm focusing on the pronunciation here, right? And the construction. Un sachet de mélange. Now, what is mélange? That means the mix. The mix. So that is the noun form, okay? La forme nominale. Now the verb is mélanger. This is the verbal form, la forme verbale, right? La forme verbale, that is mélanger, which means to mix, and the noun form for it is le mélange, right? Which means the mix or the mixture. Okay, now here they say, what do you require? You require a sachet de mélange, one third, like 1/3 cup of water. Right now, how do we say 1/3? We say un tiers, un tiers, un tiers tasse d'eau. Tasse is the cup of water, right? Un tiers tasse d'eau, that is 1/3 cup of water. Un tiers tasse d'huile végétale. Un tiers tasse d'huile végétale. That means 1/3 cup of oil. Wheel means oil and vegetal means vegetable. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Enough. Enough means 1 egg. Now, this is when you are making it in a pan, right? So, pan is said as mool. Mool means pan. Pan of 8 by 8 poos. Poos means inches, right? So, when you are making it in the pan of 8 by 8 inches or 9 by 9 poos, 9 by 9 inches or 11 by 7 inches, right? Now, when you're making the same mixture in 13 by 9 inches of pan, right, you would be requiring, vous aurez besoin de pouces, sachet de mélange. The sachet de mélange, that means now you require 2 packets of mixture, the tiers tasse d'eau. Now, one third was un tiers. So 2/3 would be the tiers, right? The tiers tasse d'eau, 2/3 of cup of water, the tiers tasse d'huile végétale, 2/3 of cup of vegetable oil, deux œufs, 2 eggs. Now, when you are making it in a bigger pan, that is in 16 by 12 inches pan, right? So that pan is called a moule, right? That's a mold or a moule of 16 by 12 pouce. Pouce means inches, right? So that would also be called demi plaque à pâtisserie, right? Demi plaque à pâtisserie. So demi means always half. Okay, plaque is sheet, a patisserie is a pan, right? That's a pastry pan. So patisserie we use for pastry, or it is also used for a shop where you can go and buy pastries and cakes, right? So if you are making it in a bigger pan, you require 3 sachets de mélange, 3 packets of the mix, un that is une tasse d'eau. Une tasse d'eau, that is 1 cup of water. Une tasse d'huile végétale, again 1 cup of vegetable oil, and 3 œufs. 3 œufs means 3 eggs, right? Now, how is the preparation going to be done? The first step here would be, now the English you can read here very well, okay? Now I'm just going to focus on the French part of it, okay? Préchauffer. Préchauffer. Now, chauffer means to heat, and préchauffer means preheat, all right? Préchauffer le four. Four means the oven, right? Préchauffer le four, that means preheat the oven à 160 degrés Celsius. Pour préparer, for preparing, le moule. Le moule here means the mold or the pan, right? Pour means for preparing the mold. Graisser, graisser means grease. That's the verb to grease, right? To grease légèrement. Légèrement means lightly. So grease, for preparing the mold, grease légèrement, lightly, ou vaporiser. Ou vaporiser, that means spray, avec un aérosol. Avec un aérosol, that is vaporiser, spray with a non-stick cooking spray. So aerosol means a spray. De cuisson anti-adhesive. De cuisson anti-adhesive. So anti-adhesive means something which is non-stick. Cuisson means something which is related to cooking. So aerosol is a spray. So, or you can just spray with a non-stick cooking spray, right? That makes sense to everyone, right? So if you're finding it well, if you're finding it good, you can just give me a thumbs up. The next is that is the next step. The second step here would be dans un bol moyen. Bowl here means a bowl, right? Dans un bol moyen. Moyen means a medium-sized ball, a bowl. Okay, a medium bowl. Bien mélanger l'eau. Bien means well. Mélanger means to mix. Okay, why are we using bien mélanger and not bon mélanger? Now my what do I want to write here is mix well. So when I say mix well, so what am I trying to tell you here is, why are we using bien mélangé and not bon mélangé? What is the difference between bien and bon? Do you know the difference? Bien is an adverb, okay, and bon is an adjective, right? So bon we always write along with the noun. For example, je suis un bon étudiant. That is, je suis un bon étudiant. That means I am a good student. But when I want to say mix well, now here, what am I doing? Like well, I'm going to mix well, right? So mix or to mix is the verb. So when I'm talking about to mix well, I will be using an adverb here. So I would use bien instead of bon. But when I'm talking about a noun like he is a good person, so I will use bon for him. I will say il est un bon, or il est une bonne personne. Il est une bonne personne. That is a good person, because person is a noun, so I will write bon along with it. All right. So let's come back to this. So that is why we are writing bien mélanger l'eau, l'huile et les œufs. That is mix well water, oil and eggs. Ajouter le mélange à brownies et battre jusqu'à consistance homogène. Now that means add the mixture of brownies et battre. Battre means and beat. Beat till it's blending well. It's blend until it blends well, right? You get a consistency which is homogeneous, right? Étaler dans le moule préparé. Étaler, that means spread. Spread it dans le moule préparé. The moule, the pan which you have already prepared, just spread in that. The third and the last step would be cuire tel qu'indiqué ci-dessous. Cuire means to bake here. It says bake, but cuire also means to cook, right? So cook tel qu'indiqué. Cook as indicated ci-dessous, right? Now what is ci-dessous? Dessous means here below. Okay, now below here is also mentioned the time, for how much time you have to bake it or cook it. So they are saying cuire tel qu'indiqué ci-dessous. That means cook as indicated below, right? Here below. Now you know the difference between ci-dessous and ci-dessus. Now it's the same difference as in here between sur and su. You see the difference in the pronunciation. This is sur. We have the u pronunciation, and when I say su, I have the u pronunciation, right? Sur means on and su means under. Similarly, ci-dessus means above, here above, and ci-dessous means here below. So coming back to this again, it says cuire tel qu'indiqué ci-dessous. That means cook as indicated here below. Pour un moule en verre. Pour means for a mold. Mold here means a pan. En verre. Verre is the glass, which is made up of glass, or a glass pan. Ajouter, that's the verb. Ajouter, to add. So add 5 minutes au temps de cuisson. That is, if you're taking a glass pan, you have to add 5 minutes to the cooking time. That means keep it for 5 minutes more for cooking. Les brownies sont prêts à être retirés du four lorsque le centre est cuit et que les bords commencent à se détacher des côtés du moule. Now let's break the sentence down. Les brownies sont prêts. The expression we are using here is être prêt, right? Now what do you mean by être prêt? That means to be ready. So we can use it for ourselves as well. We can say je suis prêt. That means I am ready, right? The expression means to be ready. We can say je suis prêt, right? Now here they are saying les brownies sont prêts. That means the brownies are ready. À être retirés, of being taken out or being withdrawn from the oven. Lorsque means when. So that's lorsque is another word for quand. Lorsque is another word for quand, and both means when in French, right? So I'm repeating this part of here. Les brownies sont prêts à être retirés du four lorsque, when le centre est cuit, the center is cooked. So this is the past participle form of the verb cuire, right? When the center is cooked, and that les bords, bord means the edges, the outside part. The edges, commence, the verb is to start. Commencer. The edges start to se détacher. Se détacher, they start to detach themselves. Des côtés du moule. Côté means from the sides of the mold or from the sides of the pan, right? Laisser refroidir. That means leave it for cooling or let it cool complètement, completely, dans le moule, in the pan, right? Avant de couper. What is avant? Avant means before cutting. Avant de couper. Couper is the verb to cut. Now, what is avant? Avant means before. Can anyone tell me in the chat what is the opposite of avant? What is the opposite of avant? Avant means before. So, what will be after in French? Please write down in the chat below. Okay, so avant, the opposite would be, avant means before. So, the opposite of avant would be après. Après, that means after. All right. So, après, that means after. Now, we have some more instructions written at the bottom of the box here. So that's the bake time. Temps de cuisson, we say bake time. And what is taille du moule? Taille means the size. So you would see the word taille written when you go to buy a jeans as well. So that means the waist in that case. And taille also means the size. But when you're going to buy a jeans or a trouser, taille also means waist over there. Okay, now here they say store in a tightly covered container. So in French, to store is conserver, to conserve or to store. So, conserver dans un contenant hermétique. Conserver dans un contenant hermétique. So, contenant is the container and hermétique is something which is tightly covered. Haute altitude, right? Haute means high. Now, you know what is the opposite of haut or haute? Now, that's an adjective, right? Haut, the opposite is bas, right? The opposite of O is bas, which means low. Here it means high altitude. So haute altitude. Pour chaque sachet. Pour means for. For, chaque is every or each. For every or each sachet, that is a pouch, ajoutez, add 1/4 tasse de farine. Now, what do you mean by farine? Farine is the flour, okay? Tout usage. So, tout is all and usage is usage or purpose. So, or all purpose flour, we can say. A deux cuillères à soupe. So, that's one expression, cuillère à soupe, which means tablespoons, right? D'eau. 2 tablespoons of water. And the last and the important instruction is ne pas manger la pâte crue. Ne pas manger. Now, this is actually the way how we give instruction, order, or command to someone in the negative form. So, one way or to express instruction, order, or command is to express the sentence in the imperative form. Okay. Second way of writing the negative instruction is by writing ne pas together followed by the infinitive of the verb. Now, what do I mean by the infinitive of the verb? That means the unconjugated form of the verb. That is the verb as it is. All right. So, I will say ne pas manger la pâte crue. Ne pas manger la pâte crue. Now, you must have seen, on the road somewhere written ne pas fumer. What does that mean, ne pas fumer? Fumer means to smoke. So, ne pas fumer means do not smoke or not to smoke. All right. When I see somewhere ne pas entrer. Entrer means to enter. So, when I say ne pas entrer, that means do not enter or no entry. Similarly, if I say ne pas bavarder, that means do not chat or do not talk, right? So here it means ne pas manger, that is do not eat la pâte crue. You must have seen also ne pas traverser. Traverser is to cross the road or something. So if it is, you see somewhere ne pas traverser, the meaning is do not cross the intersection, or maybe do not cross the road. Okay, so here it says ne pas manger, do not eat la pâte crue. Here crue means raw, cru means raw, but that's an adjective which is describing the batter, la pâte. And pâte, you see, it's feminine, we write with la. So that is why the adjective carries an extra e at the end. Okay, so here it says ne pas manger la pâte crue. Okay, that is, do not eat the raw batter. That's all for today's live session, where I tried to introduce you with some new vocabulary, the vocabulary which like would help you improve your language. All right, and also by doing so, what we are trying to do is we are trying to read the texts in our day to day routine, in our day to day life that we see around us. Okay, and by doing so we memorize better. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope I helped you. So stay tuned for my another next live session, where I will be coming up with some more information and some more different way to learn French language. Okay, that's all for today's live session. Au revoir.